It's visible? Slides are visible, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Good morning, everybody. It's a great occasion. Today we are presenting one of our most sustainable product in the construction industry called slag sand. This is generally called screen slag aggregates, fine aggregates. Sand means a generic word, like how we call Xerox. Okay, so like that, we have to call slag screen aggregates as slag sand. We always identify the name of fine aggregate by sand. Already my colleague, Mr. Manoj MS has talked about our company. I will not take much time on that actually. I may spend a few minutes about our company's journey from steel to power, then cement, infrastructure development and paints. This is the journey company has taken. Today, we are one of the largest steel company in the world. India's largest now, with current acquisition of Bhushan Steel, and about 18 million ton under expansion now currently, taking completely to about 40 million tons very soon. And our energy division has ventured into green energy now, mainly hydroelectric energy and windmill as well as solar energy, not only from the thermal sources. So we are moving towards a green energy company. JSW Cement with the concept of converting the slag byproduct of steel industry to make cement. The journey started way back. There was a 2009 officially started, but I also officially say that, unofficially I say that I was the first one to sell JSW Cement when JSW had entered into an arrangement with Zuari Cement. At that time, I'm talking about way back in 2001 or 2. The slag cement was manufactured in collaboration with Zuari Cement at that time, and was the first one to take a slag cement order in North Karnataka. So the journey has started way back that time, but officially company started in 2009, and we have already grown up to 14 million ton. One of the fastest growing cement company in India. Every year there is expansions and additions. By 2022, they want to become 20 million ton. After that, next 30 million ton is under also plan. And recently we started our paints division, and it's doing extremely very well. This is our presence in various parts of India, and very soon we'll be launching our operation plants in Rajasthan also. That is also in the pipeline. So with that, we'll become a pan-India player. Apart from India, we are also in Fujairah, a clinkerization unit manufacturing a clinker of 1 million ton. So various products we have, all are green products, except one OPC cement, where we want to cater to the infrastructure segment, and wherever our products like GGBS is going, in order to supplement the customer requirement, because they demand you should give OPC also. In a small way, we are selling OPC. And rest of our products are all green products, Green Pro certification acquired products like slag cement, Comsem, Concrete HD, GGBS for the RMC segment. Then we have slag sand recently started. The journey started about 4 years back, but now we are marketing aggressively this slag sand in all the markets of South and Western India. This is the product which is having futuristic value and also a lot of sustainable coefficient as a product. So from the house of JSW, screened slag sand. Okay, it is a manufactured product. Earlier we used to use sand, natural river sand as fine aggregate from age-old centuries. Okay, so the moment the river started depleting, and the flow of water in the river started coming down, and groundwater table started receding because of the exploitation of river sand from the river basins, all the governments started banning usage of river sand for construction. So sand constitutes about 16 to 17% of the concrete mix. Okay, so without sand we cannot make. So how to now find sand availability? Okay, river sand has been banned. Then JSW entered into picture, and we worked on our products, slags available at our steel mills, and how we can convert into a valuable product called slag sand, which has already been accepted by IS 383 as a manufactured sand. So background is that, okay, there's a massive infrastructure growth over the next 10 years, huge outlay in the infrastructure segment, roads, bridges, tunnels, metro lines are getting constructed in all the major metros. Apart from Bharatmala, Sagarmala projects are there, National Highway projects are there. So with all that, there's a severe shortage of raw material. Somehow cement, we have excess capacity. Cement currently installed capacity is about 550 million tons, and current usage is 350 million tons. So we have additional capacity of cement, 100 million tons. Then steel also, there's no problem. Then coming to the aggregates, we have a big crisis. Aggregates are not available. Good quality aggregates, very difficult to get in the current scenario. So government stopped usage of river sand from the river basins. So getting good quality sand. So the solution, what is the next future? We need to manufacture fine aggregates along with coarse aggregates. Coarse aggregates anyway were manufacturing using crushers from the stone crushers. So we got to look for alternative materials. So when we look at alternative material, what are the alternative materials available which can replace river sand? One is the CRF, crushed fine rocks, that is generally available everywhere. Now the three-stage VSI crushers have been established. Many reputed manufacturers globally have come and put up the plants to manufacture high quality M sand, which can be used for plastering. So how long you can keep on cutting the mountains? See, that's one day there will be a ban on cutting the rocks also, because you are finally destroying the ecosystems. So we have to look at other alternative materials which are available in the available in India. So those are from the industry byproducts. Okay, so this is the pictorial graph of fine aggregates. 19 to 32% we have fine aggregates usage per cubic meter, starting from 650 kgs to 750 kg sand we will use. Okay, in plastering we use 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, 1:6, various percentages. So this is most sought after product, and if the sand is not good, you are not going to get a very good concrete mix. 100%. You may have aggregates. Okay, you may have water available and chemical admixtures available. Good quality cements are anyway available. We have got a lot of variety of cements available, but getting good quality fine aggregates is a big challenge in the current scenario. Okay, so this is the year-wise concrete production, courtesy to Gaman India, that they had done a presentation to us. So there is a continuous growth of concrete production in India.
Hello, sir.
Currently, there are more than 7,000 RMC plants are there in India across length and breadth of the country. So these RMC plants continue to make good quality concrete, starting from M15 to M80, M100. In major metros like Mumbai, M80 and M100 grades concrete are very common because they're going for high-rise buildings, tall structures. City like Bangalore, M60, M70 is quite common. Okay, so we need, as per the this calculation itself, we're talking about 794 million cubic meter of concrete. Okay, then in that aspect ratio, they say about this would require 600 million tons of sand, 800 million tons of coarse aggregates. That's what the estimates they have done for concrete productions. So huge demand is there for good quality sand. So we know earlier the source was river sand. The continuous exploitation really has spoiled the river basins. Then now we are talking about rally for river. To save the rivers, we want to plant on either side of the river basin 1 kilometer green cover to improve the water level or improve the storage level in the flow of water in the river basins. That's what we are finding it this thing. So we know the continuous usage of river sand across the world, not only in India, has spoiled the ecosystem, and we are getting the river basin sinking. So there are so many local issues. Generally, the sand mining is controlled by the mafia or any other systems, which is not revenue generating to the government also. Anybody can go and take out the river. Now there are put some controls and all to do the sand mining. But otherwise, each and everybody near to the river basin, they used to take out the sand and start marketing the product and all. It's a uncontrolled product, and also quality is not assured. When I was working in the site and all, I used to find filter sand. People used to excavate the agricultural land where the percentage of sand is there, and then they extract the sand by screening, and they used to sell it. It's called filter sand. It was very popular. So thousands of acres of land, agricultural land, they made it barren by doing this activity called filter sand activity. So there you see the media reports and all, which is not coming now, because now the river sand is almost 80% is replaced by the manufactured sand. We are not finding, because of strict regulation by the government, we are not finding much of a river sand coming to the cities. Maybe rural area, wherever the river basin is there, or there's a flow of water in the valley, they get sand. Okay. So also, when you want to manufacture M sand, you need to keep on taking out the mountains. The mountains are the beauties. They create landscape to the nation. Okay, ecosystems are there. So when you continuously start doing blasting and mining and all, there is no end. There is no end for this. Okay, we will keep on spoiling the environment, and the construction is not going to stop. It is a continuous business, as we want to provide shelter for everybody, infrastructure for everybody, roads, highways, bridges and all. There's a continuous construction. They will demolish old buildings and construct new buildings. So continuously, the Mother Earth is getting spoiled. So it's one of the river in China, like the continuous dredging of the river sand has made this river completely empty, without water. This is a photograph. So depleted water due to excessive sand mining. There is no flow of water here. There's an UN report across how the world, how the mining operations have spoiled the ecosystems. So they say there's a continuous demand for mined materials. They're talking about 59 billion tons of material required. Currently, the cement production about 3.5 billion tons. Concrete production about 12 billion tons. They say by 2050, the cement production is likely to go to 9 billion tons. And similar way, concrete production also become 20 billion tons. So 20 billion tons concrete, just you multiply by 4 times, 80 billion tons of aggregates are required. That is the requirements which is coming. So as I told you recently, Jaggi Vasudev, Sadhguru, he started the Rally for River to increase the flow of water in the river basin, Kaveri basin, and he mobilized a lot of funding and all. I think the project is on, and they're trying to plant on either way of the river bank 1 kilometer this thing, tree plantations. That's what they're. So like we spoil and we want to rejuvenate. So that is what is happening actually. The cycle is reversing. Earlier, the river was flowing normally with vegetation and tree cover on both sides of the river bank. So we started doing more agriculture, then started exploiting the river basin for sand and other things. Then the river flow came down. Then now we want to rejuvenate. This river cycle is happening. So river sand nowhere compared, because the river sand comes from the continuous erosion of the particles from the sand strata. So it is millions of years of continuous erosion and gradation. So that's why the particles are very round in shape, because it comes along with water, continuous flow of water and shaping of the particles also. So nature itself make a very good sand. Okay, when we want to manufacture the equivalent M sand, either maybe CRF or any other alternative river sands, alternative sands, and then you need to really process it so that it will come close to the river sand specifications. So need for manufacture sand, as I've already told you, the continuous demand and also issues with environmental degradation, ecological considerations, and legal issues are there. You cannot extract the sand from the river basins. So the other alternative is to go with the alternative aggregates. So Karnataka government way back when I think D.V. Sadanand Gowda was the chief minister at that time. I'm talking about 10 years back. I don't know exactly what is the date. I still remember the announcement came. I only cut the cutting and I shared it with my bosses at that time as an RMC India. This article came. Now, based on the study on the M sand manufactured in Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science, they carried out a research work. Dr. Venkatramana Reddy sir was the one who carried out the research work on sand. He found that the M sand can qualify as a replacement for river sand. After that, the government came with a circulation and a government law that instead of river sand, you can use M sand for all construction activities. Then the journey started. There was a lot of resistance in the initial stage, but they started because they started banning the river sand, arrival of river sand and all. After that, there was no other alternative. People have migrated. Now, if you tell what is sand, then nobody knows what is river sand. In the city like Bangalore, that is the scenario. Still in North Karnataka markets, in other markets, wherever sand is available, people are using the river sand. So also government of Karnataka during Siddaramaiah tenure wanted to import sand from Malaysia and other countries and bag it and sell it under MSIL brand. That also they did it. Later on, they have not done it actually. Maybe people got adopted to the M sand. So whenever we talk about sand, we always refer to the Indian code IS 383 2016. Okay. So earlier the earlier code was telling that you should use natural sand. Okay. The latest sand says that manufactured sand can be utilized from the process industry byproducts. That's what the code has now come out with a modification. So with that, now people are manufacturing M sand. People are manufacturing slag sand. People are manufacturing copper slag sand, fly ash based sand, pond ash based sand. So using various byproducts of the process industry, people are manufacturing sand. So manufactured aggregates can come from any source, but we, JSW being predominantly the steel manufacturing company, and we have got various types of aggregates being manufactured using our slag. We have two types of slag. One is the blast furnace slag, second is the steel slag. Okay. So iron slag aggregate, steel slag aggregate, copper slag aggregates, recycled aggregate. These are the aggregates we can get it from the manufacturing industry. Recycled aggregates are one where we demolish the buildings and take it to a processing unit and we take out the aggregates, coarse aggregates as well as fine aggregates. That is becoming very popular now, and that is the future, because as we develop infrastructure in the cities and many more small buildings will be demolished and we go for high-rise buildings and all. So what will you do with that debris? So those debris are taken to a processing plant, C&D processing units and all, and they crush it and get a various shapes of aggregates. And the codes are permitting the usage of these aggregates, both in coarse aggregate as well as in fine aggregates. So JSW granulate blast furnace slag. We are having slag being manufactured at our Thorangallu plant. It's a screen slag is not a mineral source. Okay, it's an industrial byproduct. So now this product was not suiting to the as per IS 383 2016 requirement. It was having angular shape, and it was proper gradation was not coming, density was less. So all those things were there. Okay, why we introduced this products? Through various research work, we have engineer Satish Dabbiru from steel industry. Is the man behind all this research work from the steel laboratory, our JSW Steel R&D Center from Thorangallu. He has done a lot of work along with his team to convert this product into a very eco-friendly, usable product through modification of the product. We wanted to really curb the shortage in the market of river sand. We know the problems with the river sand are many, many silt is there. Then you have got clay, lump, lignite particles and all these things are there. So you have to really screen that product. If you want to use river sand, directly you cannot use. You got river pebbles and all. Then lot of plastic material will also be there. The river basin, what and all will go. We know very well. It is not clean product. We have to take it out and properly screen it. We'll get about 10% wastage, 10 to 15%. Based on the source of the material, 10 to 15% wastage is available. Then that is you have to pay for the full truckload when you pay. So you are paying for the wastage also when you use this product, the river sand. So as an alternative material, it will reduce the burden on the environment, the slag sand. Then it's extensively investigated. Thorough research work has been done and properties have been modified. I will showcase how we have changed the properties from which was not performing to a performing product. After study at the Indian Institute of Science, NCCBM, we conducted almost 2 years research work, giving the samples to them. And because we need the certification from them that the product can be used in the concrete and plastering applications. So after all the research work, the product has been proved to be very good as a fine aggregate. And it conforms to IS 383 standard specifications. So this is the slag sand. You can see the left-hand side photograph. And we have installed our factories for screening purpose, both at Bellary as well as Dolvi in Maharashtra. This is the photograph of the plant. You can see the heap of sand which is being manufactured using state-of-the-art technology. This is about the product and all. It can use it as a product for both mortar applications, concrete application and plaster applications, and it can 100% replace the river sand. Coming to the product features and how it is arrived and how it is being manufactured. In the blast furnace, when we produce iron, molten iron, about 35% of the slag is arrived. We had high quality limestone, iron ore and coke to manufacture steel in the blast furnace. So when we heat it up to 1500 degrees centigrade, the flux, the heavier metal will come out as a molten iron. Then the floating particles, about 32%, will be floating, and we take it out and quench using water jets and chilling water, steam and air, and we get granular type particles, which is very good product. The same product, we take it out for manufacturing the GGBS as well as slag cement and other products. And we have huge capacity to manufacture the slag, and balance for slag, we take it out to make slag sand. That's how the slag generation happens. The fluxes and iron ore and coke will be fed into the raw mill for the iron ore making, iron making in the blast furnace. Then we take it out, the pig iron to process for steel manufacturing. Then we get the slag removed, and that byproduct will be used for making our slag sand. And also in steel making also we generate steel slag at about 250 kg per 1 ton of steel. that also we are processing it and converting it to a valuable product, fine aggregates and as well as coarse aggregates. This is how we arrive at the product. So the quenching process starts the moment slag started flowing. We have water jets and that convert into droplets and all continuously, and we get the high quality slag, a granulated blast furnace slag, which can be used for fine aggregator. Also, from the steel mill, we are going to go do the air cooling of the LD slag. Then we get coarse aggregates. So, a process industry, which earlier the products were being dumped in the landfill, now they have become most valuable product. As the days go, this product will be in great demand. See, slag granulation process already have explained how it is being done. So once the granulated slag is removed, then we put it into the crushers to shape the particles to desired property to get the zone 2 specified manufactured sand. There's so many steel mills throughout the country. Now currently the steel production in India is about 130 million tons. So imagine 130 million tons. We closely get about 40-45 million tons of slag. So most of the part is used for cement manufacturing and GGBS manufacturing. Balance, what is left over can be converted into sand, which can be further utilized to concrete making. So this is the gradation curve. Like any product, always we refer to IS 383. That product has to be manufactured to the specification of IS 383 2016. And earlier, when we used the raw slag, it was not coming as per the proper gradation. So then we put specialized crushing machines, specially designed for JSW, that has been installed, and that will help us to shape the slag particles to a desirable shape, to improve the density of the particles as well as the specific gravity of the particle as well as the shape of the particle. So by processing it, we have converted it into a very valuable product which is being utilized now. Close to 1 lakh ton we are selling now. Very soon we are going to be a 2 lakh ton per month. So demand is increasing every day, and the popularity of the sand is increasing. Continuously we want to educate the customers with this. So friends, I was talking about how the changing gradation has really changed the product. So river sand, we have to take say a reference product because that product is being used for centuries. Okay, the density of the river sand is starting from 1400, 1700 kg, okay, per meter cube. This is based on the river basin, based on the gradation of the river sand. The specific gravity is 2.6 to 2.8. Water absorption is 1 to 3%. So that was the gradation. When we used a raw blast furnace, so the gradation was not coming up to the mark. Okay, it was in zone 1 specification, not zone 2 specification. Then the density was less, between 1100 to 1200 kg per meter cube. Specific gravity also was less little bit, and water absorption was more. So then when we changed the product, you can see how we have improved the density of the product, and also the specific gravity and water absorption levels have reduced. So that is equal to matching with the river sand specification. So after that, after manufacturing the product, you are given to NCCBM and also Indian Institute of Science for studying, because they are the top research institutes in the country, and to analyze the performance of the product for both and mortar and concrete applications. So advantages over river sand. So not only it meets the river sand specification in the physical parameters, it's having a uniform sized particles and all. There is no marine products, shells, then shale, impurities are not there in the screen slag. It's a pure product. Then clay and silt, 5 to 20%. So when the river basin, it's having all type of organic and inorganic material, oversized particles are there. So in this product, what we are marketing as screen slag sand, you don't find any of these things. Straight away, you are saving 20%. What you pay, let us say 2,400 rupees is the per ton river sand cost. Let us say 20% of these impurities are there. You are paying for the waste also, no? Okay. 20-25%. So straight away, per every 1,000 rupees, you are saving 200-250 rupees by using this product, because the wastage is not there here. Where you are the moment people say reverse and okay, I'm ready to pay any amount, no problem and all. But you are paying for the waste also when you buy that product. And also the moisture content variation is always there. During the rainy season, it is bulking up sand offers, you don't get the exact weight. So all that will happen, the cheating will happen when you buy reverse sand. When you buy the slag sand, there's no problem. It's properly weighed from a largest, one of the largest conglomerate JSW group. You get all the benefit and you get a proper invoice, billing, everything. This is what we did the comparison, reverse sand and also the slag sand comparison is very matching, typically matching, microscopically. Also, we have matched. Okay, we have gone to the minute level to analyze the product, how it is working or not. Comparison we have done. Okay, so after that we have found, okay, we did it 25% replacement. People say no, building may fall and all. We don't know, we don't trust it. All that they will say. So we did it 25%. And later on we did it 50% replacement, 75%. Then we did 100%. Also, we did in our own factory, steel factory, many buildings, many heavy duty flooring applications to study. Because first you want to test any vaccine like that. Now Corona is there, people are testing vaccine. So it was applied on ourselves only. So we used our own product to build huge infrastructure projects inside our campus. Then they are working for last 10 years. There is no problem at all. So then it is testimony, it will can withstand heavy loads, heavy duty flooring, and also weathering conditions, all that it can withstand. So also the glass content, everything is there as per the requirement. It's having the chemical properties like this. So the properties of concrete with slag sand, you may ask friends, okay, the property is good or bad, whether we are going to get inferior concrete. That's always worry is there. No, earlier I was in RMC India as a sales manager. So I used to promote fly ash. At that time, fly was available. So people say, hey, somebody is putting budi in the concrete. Earlier it was pure OPC cement people used to use 100%. So when we wanted to recommend fly ash, people are okay, they're using ash, concrete will fail. Everybody had that mindset. Okay, then gradually educated, we showed the results, gave presentations, everything. Then people started believing. Then GGBS came. People, hey, why should we use GGBS? No, we cannot keep on experimenting. Today, we are selling close to 1 lakh ton in Karnataka market. So, if the OPC is selling, let us say, in bulk 3 lakh tons, GGBS is selling 1 lakh ton, almost that 25 to 30% of the OPC. So like that, any product adaptations, people will take time, engineers will take time, because they have to experiment and experience the product. Then only they will accept it. Or they should have a reference point. Somebody has used it, nothing has happened. So then they will use it actually. Okay, that's what. Using the slag sand, we are going to get a very good workable concrete. Okay, very cohesive mix, no segregation and bleeding. Because of the uniform particle size, the round shape particles are there. Whenever you have uniform, the transition zone also become narrow. Then cracks will not be there. The interfacial zone, like the bonding of the cement particles or the GGBS particle along with the fine aggregate is very good, because when the round shapes are there, we have got lesser voids. Okay, that ball bearing effect will be there. So in the mortar also, if you are making cement mortar, plastering applications, there also rebound losses are minimized and you get a better improved compressive strength. These are there. When the ardent properties, looking at the ardent properties, so better compressive strength, what we have observed, tensile abrasion strength, improved long-term durability of the product. Okay. We can climb 5 to 10% improvement in the compressive strength is there. We can reduce the cement content. That's quite possible. You have to make your mixed design and get it done. But the moment you tell, people will start, okay, JSW has told, Manjunath told, let us reduce cement straight away. But you have to, don't do that. You do your own mixed designs and evaluate. If you are getting better strength, we can optimize the cement content also. That's what I can proudly say using this product. The processed slag, sand, a fine aggregate, it is possible to arrive at mixed proportions based on your own trials. There should not be any problem at all. So already many importance of the product I have already explained. It is very good both in physical and chemical properties of the concrete, and we can completely replace it. It's a very eco-friendly product. Okay, river sand is not eco-friendly. Even M sand is not eco-friendly. Reason behind, you are crushing the mountains. One day I'll tell you, after 10 years, mountains after mountains you start. The environmental will go and stage a dharna. Don't break the mountains. You now keep on breaking mountains. You may go to Nandi Hills. Let us start breaking the Nandi Hills. Is it possible? Not possible. So there's a limit for everything. But using the recyclable products, with having life cycle cost, that product, sustainable products, I can say, okay, meeting the current demand and also addressing the future demand. These are the sustainable products where continuous steel production is going to happen. Currently, it is 130 million tons, and by 2030, they're talking about 152 million tons. They're talking about making up to 300 million tons of steel in India. After China, India will be the second largest producer of steel. When we make steel, we are going to get these byproducts which can be effectively utilized to make various products, including sand. So where and all we can use this product? We can use it wherever concrete is going, plastic is going, we can use it. Plain concrete, reinforced concrete, mortar, ready mixed mortars, dry lean concrete. Everywhere we have tested this product for various applications, it can be used. So this is what I was telling. In our own steel factory at various applications, we have used this product for many years. We have no problem at all. Massive foundations you can see. We are using then the flooring application, the heavy duty flooring what we have done. Nothing has happened to any of the structures. Apart from that, CSR activity we did, government, PWD, government of Karnataka, Nirmiti Kendras and all. Rural roads we did with concrete, just to give confidence to the people. And plastering we have done for government buildings. Nirmiti Kendra, administrative block building in Bellary, they have used it. The village roads we have done. This is Gaman India, KPC or Sultan Road project. And PQC also, the product has been used. For stabilized roads, we have used this product. The Gaman India, the road under construction now, they have used this sand for GSB, DLC and PQC. To complete road, one of its kind road in the country, the first time in India, a complete slag-based road has been built from starting to finish. And Bangalore also we have done in various concrete RMC plants. We wanted to promote in RMC plants also, wherever special applications are there, special concretes are there. They can make use of this product. Let us say they want to design color concrete, which has to be whitish in nature, the pigmented. If you start using M sand and cement purely, it will be very dark. Whatever pigment you had, you have to add more pigment. Especially for the decorative concrete application, the sand will be very good, the slag sand, because it is almost like river sand. Plastering we have done, Mana projects we have done. Then in Chennai also, we have tried out in all the places. So this is the trial feedback, no silt content, good workability, good finish. So some people used to say price is higher than M sand because of the transportation costs are very high. Prices are this thing. When you are paying for river sand, very high cost, why can't you pay for the same or better quality slag sand? That's what we want to say. They can blend it also, 50-50 river sand, 50 M sand to get a optimized costing also. That is quite possible because even IS 383 allows the blending of sands to get the proper gradation. So IHP segment people now, they say I am getting in Bangalore, the M sand at 1,200 rupees. This sand comes at 2,000 plus. So you blend it, no? Your average cost will come to 1,500. But your better quality you will get. Okay. Start making plastering with only M sand crushed fine rocks, you may get cracks, shrinkage. So many things may happen. So better go with the blending of the sand. This is quite possible. many people in North Karnataka, they're completely using this sand only. Even if you give M sand or cheaper cost, nobody is ready to prefer, especially a plastering application. It's very much recommended to use slag sand. So future applications, you have done on various products and specifications. These products can be used for even coastal environment also, artificial railway bollards. It's sustainable. Not only it brings sustainability, it reduces the carbon footprint also in terms of reduction in the cement requirement and maintenance cost. So overall, you are going to get a very eco-friendly product, and saving also you will get. Talking about building a green highway using slag aggregates, processed products from both iron and steel. And we have got recently tested at Trident Laboratory also. Trident Laboratory is a reputed laboratory in Bangalore. They have done the gradation and accepted. And as per the codal provision, IS 383 has been amended in 2016. Instead of natural sources, you can use the fine aggregate from manufactured sources also. That is what it's saying. With that revision, even the government agencies also cannot question you. And we have got approval from Ministry of Surface Shipping and Road Transport, MARC specifications. Specifications for rural roads, already it is there. And PWD has recommended the usage of slag in the building of roads in Karnataka. And also many articles have come recommending the usage of this product. Karnataka State Pollution Control Board also has recommended to use, because earlier the slag was not being utilized. It was creating a big landfill, this thing. That is the reason that they have recommended to use the slag. Not only the slag, wherever the byproducts are there, they are recommending to use them for the construction applications. So I'm coming to the final of my presentation. Slag sand is a very eco-friendly product. Many advantages are there. The cycle shows that it's a durable product, no deleterious material, environmental friendly product, available throughout the year in terms of bag and bulk. If you want 10 bags also, we can supply. So 50 kg packing we have done, suitable for all the structures. All the properties, physical and chemical properties, are controlled using this product. So I would like to conclude with my presentation today is that I request all the engineers who are present today to continuously use this product. It's available. My team is there. Our team is there. Technical team is there. Marketing team is there. 99 members are there. I think it must have exceeded the 100 this thing. I'm happy to see 99 participants in this presentation. It's a very eco-friendly product. It's available from one of the largest corporate house, JSW, which helps in promoting durable and sustainable construction in India. All our products are durable and sustainable. We take it slag cement, we take GGBS and composite cements, and one more product is called slag sand. And we are having slag aggregates also. Very soon we are launching our construction chemical products. My colleague Arun will take you. There also, in manufacturing of this construction chemical products, we are utilizing our byproducts effectively, so that those products are also very eco-friendly. And very soon we are coming out with earth-friendly concrete, EFC, which is a geopolymer concrete technology, where we don't use cement at all to make concrete. With that technology, we can make concrete road today. Tomorrow you can drive your car on that road. So that is a technology. Very soon we will be launching that product in the Indian market. So many new products are coming from JSW. All are eco-friendly. And using these products, you are not only saving money, improving the building's durability, then you are contributing to the society, making a clean environment. We are seeing the rise in the ocean temperatures, carbon dioxide emissions, difficult to get oxygen. We know during this pandemic how we have struggled to get oxygen from various parts of the country to feed the medical oxygen to the COVID patients. So we don't know these things keep on happening. This virus attack on the human race. Very soon we may have to wear oxygen mask permanently and travel. That may happen. So let us hope that we will survive ourselves with this pandemic situation. And whenever being civil engineers, contractors, building industry professionals, when we want to use this product, you always keep in your mind, I want to construct my building, we should be eco-friendly. It saves natural resources for the next generation. If you keep in that mind immediately, you will start using these products. Don't worry about always cost. I'm telling you, cost. Okay. So cheaper products will not give you durability. If it is a bit costly because of the transportation or any other logistics issue, and worthwhile it is, try to use this product, get the maximum benefit out of it. So with that, I would like to close my presentations.